I only got 2 words to say, and that is Pablo Sandoval! Yeah, I said it. Pablo Sandoval. What a freaking performance last night in Game 1 of the World Series. Joins a list of 3 of the greatest players to ever play. One's actually still playing right now, but he's going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play. Sandoval hits 3 home runs last night. Actually, in his first 3 at-bats, the first one out of all 4 guys to ever do it. But joins the club of Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth, who did it twice, and Mr. Albert Pujols, who did it last year, as the only 4 men to ever hit 3 runs in a 3 home runs in a single World Series game. Let's start with that one. Did either one of you guys, and since, we only get Mike 1 day a week, I'll start with you on this one, Mike. Did you at all see that coming last night?
Well, Pablo Sandoval has always been a very good player. He just needs to stay healthy. Injuries have been his downfall the last couple of years, but 3 home runs in 1 game, no, I did not. And, you just got to hope that the Giants didn't use all their offense up last night. At least, when Reggie Jackson did it in '77, he waited until the end of the series. So you got to hope that doesn't come back to haunt him a little bit. But, hey, amazing game out of Sandoval, man. And Barry Zito coming from out of nowhere, basically, to rediscover what led the Giants to give him that outrageous contract in the first place. And, I remember a couple weeks ago when he had the bad start in the division series, and we were talking about, oh, you probably won't see him again for the rest of the postseason. Well, apparently he's a better postseason starter than Lincecum is right now. Whatever they're doing right now, Zito goes 7 2/3 scoreless Saturday night against the Cardinals, and now he pitches 5 2/3, gives up the 1 run against the Tigers. And Lincecum's been pitching very well out of the bullpen. It's working for San Francisco. You got to wonder what Detroit does to counter it, because they're going to counter it. Go ahead, Eric.
No, Sandoval's, I didn't see that coming out of him. I didn't see it coming really out of any of the Giants' offense last night. I'm kind of in shock over the way they were able to beat up on Verlander. And for Sandoval to hit all those home runs, it's one of the great World Series performances you'll see out of a hitter. Hard to really top that.
Yeah, right. Unless you're going 4 for 4 with 4
home runs. Which just is absolutely insane. Great night for the Giants. They just continue every night to surprise me. They're with everything they do. Between their pitching is always better than I'm expecting. Their hitting's better than I'm expecting. And what I feared out of the Tigers looks like it could be coming true, because they looked sluggish. They didn't look themselves. They didn't look right. And I think the long layoff could have had something to do with that.
Well, that was the one thing that coming into this we talked about numerous times, was the fact that how much is the rust, how much is the layoff going to affect their performance? And you could tell by San Francisco that they were in the groove of playing baseball. You could tell it. You could just see they just seem so much more relaxed, so much more just ready for what's taking place and what's going on, compared to Detroit, who looked sort of tight. Look, the simple fact of the matter is, yesterday I said it on the show. I feel like San Francisco was going to take this series, but there was one game I didn't think they were winning, and that was last night. Mm-hmm. I did not see San Francisco going at Verlander the way they were able to. And, it was put in our chat room, the simple fact, the man gave up home runs on 0-2 counts, on balls where he should have been able to get the batter to swing or a foul tip. Instead, maybe location was off. No matter what it might have been, I really think that he was not ready for last night's game, no matter how much he says he was. He was dominated for 4 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, a walk. He did have 4 strikeouts, but let's be serious. And Sandoval hit 2 of his 3 home runs off of him. Interesting to me was the fact that not one at-bat against Verlander of the game lasted more than 3 pitches. Not one of them. They were either hits or strikeouts. Every at-bat he took, it was either a hit or a strikeout. Now, one of his at-bats went more than 3 pitches. Then the icing on the cake to let you know that his game was not going the way he wanted it to go, even Barry Zito stepped up and hit an RBI single off of him. So Verlander just had a bad game. And now the question I guess you would say is, do we think that this is a preview of what's to come in this series? Is it going to be like this, or do we think that the Tigers are able to turn things around and maybe take a split in San Francisco? So, Mike, we'll start with you again on this one. Do we think that this is a sign of things to come, or does Detroit get things turned around tonight and at least get a split in San Francisco?
Well, I mean, Eric talked about the long layoff, and I think that is a perfect explanation for what happened last night. I mean, what was it? They basically had 10 days.
Yeah.
To rest, and we all know, especially in an atmosphere like this, when you have that time off and you have to come back, I think they got it out of their system. I think Detroit's going to win this series. I thought they were going to win it.
I picked them too.
Yeah, no, I think it's going 7, but I definitely think they can win tonight. Is it Fister or Sanchez going tonight?
Fister.
And for the Giant, I'm sorry, not research. Bumgarner going tonight, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think they could take it back. Fister's been really good since he came over from Seattle last year. And listen, that offense is still Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, Delman Young has been phenomenal, backing those two up. I still see no reason why the Tigers can't even it out tonight. And then when it goes back to Detroit, I still think they're going to wind up putting their foot down, taking it back.
Interesting enough, Eric. I know you picked Detroit. Do you still feel that way after last night?
I still feel that way.
You just don't trust San Francisco.
I just, for whatever reason, even though they keep winning, I just don't like them. I just look at Detroit's lineup, and I would rather have their lineup. I would rather have Detroit's pitching staff. I would rather rely on Verlander, Fister, Scherzer, and Sanchez rather than I would rely on Baumgartner, Zito, Kane, and
Vogelsong. Yep.
Who Vogelsong has pitched outstanding this postseason. I can't. It's hard to knock the guy. The guy has pitched a great postseason so far. I just look at it and I still go, as far as talent-wise, it's hard for me to bet against the Tigers. You got the Triple Crown winner. They got another great player in Prince Fielder, and Austin Jackson, and even Infante. They have a lot of guys that I like in their lineup. Maybe it's because I've seen more of them throughout the year. But even still, I just, it's hard for me to get on the Giants bandwagon. I just can't, I haven't been able to do it. I still can't do it. I'm still sticking with my Detroit and 6 pick.
Okay. Now, me personally, I got San Francisco in 6, I believe I said. Maybe 5, I'm not 100% sure. In my opinion, I don't think that's far-fetched. Julie put in our chat room that she could see this all of a sudden, based on what she saw last night, she said she could see this turning into a sweep. And I said, you know what? I sort of could see that too. In my opinion, based on what you've seen history-wise and what you saw last night, long layoffs really, really seem to hurt the team that had the long layoff. And the team that kept playing seems to have the upper hand. And I just really think that was even brought to truth last night. And I wouldn't be surprised if that continues. Now, Chris puts in our chat room that Sandoval is the first person to go 4 for 4. And since... Yeah, I'm having a hard time reading your writing, Chris. My apologies. I was trying to get that out there for you. But either which way, look, last night's game could also, like I said, with the history and everything, look, the team that has won Game 1 has won 8 of the last 9 World Series. San Francisco has had an unbelievable run to get to where they're at. And I just really feel like they believe that they can win this.